Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to stand before you today. And I want to talk about something that touches every single one of us. It's something that we all deal with, something that affects our lives in ways we may not always be aware of, but something that, if left unchecked, can lead to unnecessary pain, confusion, and growth blocks. We all want relationships that lift us up, that help us grow, that nurture us and make us better versions of ourselves. But how often do we find ourselves in relationships, friendships, and situations where we are asked to compromise parts of who we are? We are asked to give pieces of ourselves away until we don't even recognize who we can even recognize who we are anymore. Today, I want to talk about the importance of setting boundaries. I want to talk about the 6 things that people may ask from you that you should never give away. These are the things that, if given away too freely, can leave you empty, exhausted, and questioning your worth. These are the things that should always be protected because they are the foundation of who you are, the essence of your soul, and the energy that keeps you moving forward. The first thing people may ask from you is your peace. You've worked so hard to get to a place of calm. You've endured the storms, navigated the chaos, and fought your battles. You've earned your peace. It is not something to be taken lightly. But there are people in your life who will come with all their drama, their confusion, their noise, and they will try to disturb that peace. They will try to get you to engage in conflicts that don't belong to you. They will invite you into situations where your peace is compromised for their comfort. And let me tell you something, no matter how much you love someone, no matter how much you care about them, your peace should always be non-negotiable. Your peace is your foundation, your sanctuary, the one thing that allows you to face life with clarity and grace. The world around us moves fast, and if we're not careful, we can get caught up in the chaos that's constantly swirling. But there's something powerful about maintaining your peace, about protecting that stillness inside you. It's not just a feeling, it's a state of mind, a conscious choice to prioritize your well-being above all else. We live in a world where people often try to impose their noise, their problems, their drama on others. They see your peace as a weakness, or perhaps even a threat. It's like they want to pull you into their emotional storms because they can't find calm in their own lives. It's important to recognize that these people are not entitled to your peace. You didn't work so hard on your mental, emotional, and spiritual health only for someone else to come in and disrupt it without hesitation. Your peace is precious, and it's something you've cultivated over time. It's the result of countless hours of self-reflection, prayer, healing, and learning to let go of the things that no longer serve you. It's the quiet moments when you're alone with your thoughts, when you're still and connected to the higher power that sustains you. It's when you finally realize that peace is not found in external circumstances, but within yourself. It's a decision you make to remain calm and centered, no matter what chaos is happening around you. But here's the truth, not everyone in your life wants you to be at peace. They might not even recognize the value of it. Some people thrive on drama, conflict, or confusion. They might not even mean to, but their need for validation, attention, or control can become a vortex that pulls you in. And before you know it, your peace is slipping away. There are people who will test your peace, people who will try to drag you into their disputes, make you feel guilty for saying no, or accuse you of being distant when you need space. But you need to remember, they do not have the right to steal your peace. Don't give them the permission to disrupt your balance. Your peace is a direct reflection of the boundaries you set for yourself, and those boundaries are not negotiable. What does it look like when people disturb your peace? Maybe it's a toxic friendship that constantly drains you, leaving you emotionally exhausted after every interaction. Maybe it's a family member who always has something negative to say, pulling you into their drama every time you speak. It could even be a partner who undermines your confidence, making you doubt your worth and sense of calm. These people don't deserve to occupy space in your mind, your heart, or your life. They are like storms that shake you up, and the more you allow them to, the more you lose touch with the very peace you've worked so hard to build. But what happens when you protect your peace? What happens when you choose to safeguard your serenity? You begin to feel more grounded, more confident, and more in tune with your higher purpose. You stop reacting to the noise around you because you realize that you can't control other people's chaos, but you can control how you respond to it. When you protect your peace, you also protect your energy. You stop wasting precious time on things that don't matter, on people who don't respect your boundaries. You start choosing people who bring calmness into your life, not confusion. Protecting your peace is not just about avoiding conflict. It's about cultivating a space where you can grow, heal, and become your best self. It's about creating an environment that nurtures your mental health, your emotional well-being, and your spiritual strength. It's about refusing to let anyone, no matter who they are, take that from you. So when someone comes into your life and tries to disturb your peace, whether intentionally or unintentionally, remember that it's your choice to let them in. You have the power to protect the serenity that you've worked so hard to create. Don't let anyone rob you of that. Time is a non-renewable resource. It's the one thing in this life that you cannot get back once it's gone. Every minute, every hour, every day is an opportunity that slips through your fingers, never to return. When you understand the true value of time, you begin to see it as something sacred, something to be guarded fiercely. It's not just a measurement on a clock, it's the currency of your life. And like any valuable currency, it deserves to be spent wisely. The people around you, those who you allow into your space, are a direct reflection of how you value your time. Time isn't just about what you do, it's also about who you invested in. It's easy to get caught up in the daily demands of life, to feel like you're obligated to give your time to anyone who asks for it. But the truth is, not everyone deserves your time. When someone continuously demands your time, especially without appreciating it, that's a clear red flag. They see your time as something they can take for granted without any regard for the effort and energy it costs you. But your time is valuable. You work hard for it. You invest it in things that matter to you, whether that's your growth, your goals, your relationships, or your peace of mind. So when someone starts to take advantage of your time, it's time to step back and reassess the situation. It's important to recognize that people who don't appreciate your time are often not valuing you either. They may take your time for granted because they believe it's always available to them. They don't acknowledge the sacrifices you make in order to be there for them. They may not see the bigger picture of your life and what's important to you. When you give your time freely without boundaries, you run the risk of draining yourself while receiving little in return. Guarding your time means setting clear boundaries. It means being mindful of who gets access to your most precious resource. There's nothing wrong with saying no, nothing wrong with protecting your schedule, especially when someone's demands are draining or taking you off track. Learning to say no is one of the most powerful tools you have in preserving your time. It's not a reflection of selfishness, it's a reflection of self-respect. When someone doesn't appreciate your time, they're also not honoring the effort it takes for you to be present. Time isn't just about showing up, it's about being fully engaged, fully available in that moment. When people don't recognize that, they often take you for granted, expecting your presence without understanding the commitment it requires. It's also important to recognize that time is a limited resource. We only have so much of it. You have dreams, goals, aspirations, things you want to accomplish in this life. You cannot afford to let people waste your time or keep you in situations that don't contribute to your growth. Whether it's a job that drains you, a friendship that doesn't add value, or relationships that constantly pull you away from your purpose, these are the things that rob you of your time. And once your time is gone, you cannot get it back. Invest your time in people who truly value you, people who understand the importance of the moments they spend with you. Seek out those who give just as much as they take, those who support you, encourage you, and understand the value of your time. These are the people who honor your presence and don't make you feel like your time is just a resource to be used and discarded. It's also about understanding your own worth. When you start valuing your time, you begin to attract people who will respect it. The right people won't constantly demand your attention. They'll appreciate the time you give and reciprocate it. They understand that your time is precious and they won't take it for granted. Time is the one thing you can't get back. It's the one thing you have the power to control. So don't allow anyone to waste it or take it from you without showing any respect for it. Guard it like the treasure it is and invest it in ways that bring value to your life. Whether it's time for your dreams, your family, your self-care, or your passions, be intentional with how you spend it. Money is a tool. It's a resource, a means to an end, but it is not the end itself. In this world, we often view money as a solution to our problems, and it can be a powerful one. But it's also important to recognize that it is finite, and that while you may have a generous heart, your financial resources are not limitless. Money is something you work hard for, something you've earned, and it should be spent in ways that align with your values, your goals, and your purpose. When someone keeps asking for financial help without showing any effort in changing their own situation, it signals a deeper issue, a cycle of dependency that can become unhealthy for both parties. People who consistently expect you to provide for them without taking steps to improve their circumstances may not fully understand the responsibility that comes with receiving financial help. At first, it might feel good to offer assistance. You may want to help someone you care about or feel sympathy for their struggle. However, when you start enabling a pattern of dependency, you risk creating a situation where they no longer take accountability for their own situation. Helping someone out of a genuine need is one thing, but when you find that they are continuously in need with no effort to change their own circumstances, the balance shifts. You start to feel like you are shouldering their burden, and eventually it can become draining. The energy you put into helping someone financially can begin to outweigh the benefits of assisting them. You start to wonder if your help is making a real difference, or if it's simply maintaining the status quo. And that's a dangerous place to be, because your own resources are being consumed, and it may not be for a worthy cause. There's a difference between supporting someone in a moment of hardship and enabling their ongoing cycle of dependency. Support is meant to be temporary, a lifeline to help someone regain their footing. It's meant to give them the time and space they need to get back on track. However, if someone is constantly relying on your financial assistance without any meaningful change in their situation, it becomes a pattern that drains your energy, your resources, and your time. This kind of financial assistance often doesn't teach the person how to stand on their own feet. Instead, it can foster a mindset of entitlement where they believe that someone else will always come through to solve their problems. You need to understand that your money should not be a crutch for someone else's lack of initiative. Of course, there are emergencies, and there are times when someone may genuinely be in a difficult situation. But when financial help becomes a recurring theme without any effort from the other person to change their behavior, to plan or to make adjustments, you're no longer helping them. You're enabling a cycle that holds them back from growing. You are not obligated to keep rescuing someone who isn't trying to rescue themselves. Your money should be a resource used wisely, not one used to perpetuate a pattern of reliance that ultimately hurts both you and the person you're trying to help. It's important to set boundaries with your money. You need to be discerning about where it goes and who benefits from it. When you're always giving to people who do not show the same level of effort in helping themselves, you run the risk of becoming resentful. Eventually, the act of giving will no longer feel good. It will feel like an obligation. And that's not healthy for you. You are not a bank for people who refuse to take action in their own lives. Giving money should come from a place of love, care, and genuine concern for someone's well-being. But it should never come from a place of guilt, pressure, or manipulation. If someone is constantly asking for money, but you can see that they are not working to change their situation, it's time to recess the relationship. You have a responsibility to protect your own financial resources, to use them wisely, and to give in ways that are truly helpful to the other person, not enabling their stagnation. At some point, the person you're helping may need to face the consequences of their choices in order to understand the value of hard work, sacrifice, and self-sufficiency. You have to know when to step back and let them take responsibility for their own life. Your resources, your time, and your energy are not infinite. And it's crucial to recognize when your help is no longer helping. Self-doubt is one of the most insidious forces that can creep into your life, often disguised as well-meaning advice or concern from others. It doesn't always come with loud, overt criticism. Sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes it's the offhanded comments, the small doubts planted in your mind, or the indirect questioning of your decisions that start to erode your confidence. The truth is, no one has the right to make you question your worth or abilities. You were created with a unique set of skills, talents, and strengths, and it's essential that you stand firm in the belief that you are enough just as you are. When someone constantly asks you to doubt yourself or challenges your decisions in ways that undermine your confidence, they are not helping you grow. They are trying to sabotage you, whether intentionally or unintentionally. These individuals want to create a sink where you feel insecure, uncertain, and unsure of your path. They want to pull you into a space of confusion because they are uncomfortable with your certainty or the vision you have for your life. If you find yourself constantly questioning your decisions or feeling uncertain about your choices after interacting with certain people, it's time to evaluate the impact they're having on you. We are all susceptible to the influence of others. We value the opinions of those we love, trust, and respect. But it's important to recognize when someone's influence is turning negative, when it is no longer encouraging or constructive, but instead destructive. Every time you doubt yourself based on someone else's opinion, you are allowing them to hold power over your thoughts and your future. You are allowing them to rewrite your narrative, to dictate the trajectory of your journey. Self-doubt often doesn't stem from your own abilities. It comes from external voices, people who have their own agendas or fears. These people may not even realize that their words are planting seeds of doubt. Maybe they're projecting their own insecurities onto you, projecting their own limitations, and thinking that you, too, are incapable of achieving what you desire. But that's not the truth of who you are. Your abilities, your vision, and your potential are not for anyone else to define. It's crucial to recognize that self-doubt is not the truth. It's simply a feeling that arises when you allow others to speak louder than your own inner voice. When someone consistently undermines your confidence, it becomes a cycle of sabotage. You start to second-guess your instincts, your choices, and even your worth. You begin to question the very essence of who you are. But remember this, your instincts are powerful. They are a reflection of your inner wisdom, your experiences, and your connection to your true self. When you allow someone to make you question your decisions, you are abandoning your own intuition and letting someone else take the wheel. The reality is that no one knows you better than you know yourself. Only you are privy to your thoughts, your feelings, and your aspirations. Only you understand the struggles, the hard work, and the perseverance that have brought you to this point in your life. No one can fully comprehend the vision you have for your future. That's why it's vital that you stand strong in your own decisions and not allow others to plant seeds of doubt that will grow into barriers on your path. People who try to make you question your worth or abilities are often threatened by your confidence. They might feel insecure about their own progress or choices and project that insecurity onto you. They might feel uncomfortable with your growth, with your courage to take risks, and with your ambition to achieve something extraordinary. And instead of supporting you, they try to pull you down to their level where doubt and fear reign. But don't fall into that trap. Your growth, your success, and your dreams are not meant to fit into someone else's limited perspective. Self-doubt will always be present in moments of uncertainty or challenge, but it's important to recognize it for what it is, a temporary feeling that can be overcome. The voices of doubt that come from others are not the truth, they are distractions. The only voice that matters is the one that comes from within. It's the voice that believes in your potential, the voice that encourages you to take risks and move forward despite the fear. That's the voice you need to listen to. Loyalty is a powerful force. It's one of the deepest forms of connection we can experience with others. It's the foundation of strong relationships, whether with friends, family, or partners. Loyalty means standing by someone through thick and thin, supporting them even when the road gets tough, and being there when they need you the most. It's not just about what we say, but about what we do, how we show up for the people we care about. However, loyalty should never be one-sided. It must be mutual. The expectation of loyalty should always be balanced by the offering of the same in return. When someone expects unwavering loyalty from you but isn't willing to give that loyalty back, it's a red flag. True loyalty is built on trust, respect, and support, not manipulation. It's not about doing things because you feel obligated or because someone is using guilt to make you stay by their side. It's about a mutual exchange of commitment and care, where both people are willing to stand by each other in good times and bad. If someone constantly demands loyalty from you without offering it in return, they are not fostering a healthy, balanced relationship. Instead, they may be manipulating you to keep you in a position where you are giving while they are taking, without ever reciprocating the same care or commitment. Loyalty that is based on manipulation or control is not loyalty at all. It's a form of emotional exploitation. It's about keeping you tethered to them, making you feel like you owe them your loyalty, even when they are not giving you the same in return. This kind of relationship is toxic. It often leaves you feeling drained, unappreciated, and vulnerable. You begin to question your own worth because you are constantly giving and giving while they seem to be taking and taking without ever acknowledging your needs or your sacrifices. This one-sided dynamic isn't a healthy foundation for any relationship. The essence of loyalty is trust. Without trust, there can be no loyalty. Trust is what allows people to lean on each other, be vulnerable and knowing how they're feeling that the other person has their back. But when trust is broken, when one person stops giving the same level of loyalty in return, the entire relationship becomes fragile. Trust erodes, and so does the bond that once seemed so solid. Loyalty without trust is just a hollow promise, something that can easily be broken when the going gets tough. Loyalty is also rooted in respect. It's not just about standing by someone, it's about honoring them, recognizing their value, and treating them with the same level of kindness and consideration that you expect in return. It's about giving your time, energy, and support freely without the expectation of being taken advantage of. But when someone expects loyalty without offering respect, they are undermining the very foundation of the relationship. They may make you feel like your feelings, your needs, and your well-being don't matter. And that's not the essence of true loyalty. The danger in allowing someone to expect loyalty from you without reciprocating it is that it can lead to a cycle of unbalanced relationships. You start to put others' needs ahead of your own, constantly sacrificing your own peace, time, and energy to support them, while they do little to offer you the same in return. Over time, this can leave you emotionally exhausted, unfulfilled, and resentful. It's important to recognize when a relationship is no longer mutual. When loyalty is being used as a tool of manipulation rather than a bond of genuine connection. You deserve to be surrounded by people who value and respect you, people who are willing to offer the same loyalty they ask for. True loyalty requires effort and consistency from both sides. It's a bond that is nurtured through actions, through demonstrating care, support, and understanding. It's not something that should be demanded, but rather something that is earned through trust, respect, and mutual commitment. If someone only wants loyalty when it benefits them, but is unwilling to offer the same loyalty when you need it, they are not truly invested in the relationship. They may be using you for their own gain, and that is a relationship built on manipulation, not love or respect. Recognizing the difference between genuine loyalty and manipulation is crucial in maintaining your own sense of self-worth. You should never feel like you are giving more than you are receiving, especially in relationships that claim to be built on loyalty. When loyalty becomes one-sided, it stops being a source of strength and begins to drain you, leaving you feeling empty and unsupported. Your loyalty should be shared, nurtured, and reciprocated in equal measure, not extracted through guilt or control. In any healthy relationship, loyalty flows both ways, with both people offering their trust, respect, and support freely and without reservation. Happiness is one of the most sacred aspects of your life. It's the inner peace that fuels your spirit, the joy that fills your heart, and the satisfaction that allows you to move through life with purpose and fulfillment. It's not something that should be up for negotiation, nor is it something you should ever have to compromise for the comfort of others. Your happiness is personal, it's yours, and it's the foundation upon which you can build everything else in your life. When others ask you to give up your happiness to make them feel more comfortable, it's a clear indication that something is wrong within that relationship. The truth is, no one has the right to take away your happiness, nor should they be allowed to make you feel that you need to shrink yourself, your joy, or your light to make them feel better. It's easy to fall into the trap of people pleasing, especially when we care deeply for others and want them to feel loved and supported. We often convince ourselves that their comfort is more important than our own, and we start to make concessions. But when these compromises come at the expense of our own well-being and happiness, we're doing ourselves and the relationship a disservice. True connection is built on mutual respect and understanding. And if someone is asking you to sacrifice your happiness for theirs, that's not a healthy or respectful dynamic. Happiness should never be dependent on another person's approval, comfort, or happiness. It should come from within you, from the choices you make that align with your values, desires, and aspirations. If someone is making you feel like you need to dim your light to make them comfortable, it's not a sign of a loving relationship, but a sign of imbalance. People who truly care about you will celebrate your happiness, not try to manipulate it or suppress it. They will encourage you to grow, to thrive, and to embrace the fullness of your potential. They will want to see you happy, not just for their own benefit, but because your joy adds value to the world and to the connection you share. When someone asks you to compromise your happiness for their comfort, they are asking you to ignore your own needs, to suppress your own desires, and to prioritize their emotional state over your own. This isn't just a small request, it's a major violation of your boundaries. It's a sign that they may be more concerned with their own comfort than with your well-being. They may be manipulating you into thinking that your happiness is secondary to theirs, when in reality, your joy is just as important as theirs. You don't owe anyone the sacrifice of your inner peace for their temporary comfort. The danger of continually compromising your happiness for someone else is that it can lead to a slow erosion of your self-worth. Over time, if you keep giving up pieces of your joy to make others feel better, you might start to forget what truly makes you happy. You might lose touch with the things that bring you fulfillment, and your sense of identity could begin to fade. In the worst case scenario, you may start to feel like your happiness doesn't matter at all, that it's something you have to constantly barter for or trade in order to maintain relationships. But that's not how life is meant to be. Your happiness is non-negotiable. It's a part of who you are, and it should never be tied to someone else's approval or comfort. A true loving relationship is one where both individuals support each other's happiness. It's not about making constant sacrifices to keep the other person happy at the expense of your own well-being. It's about creating a balance where each person's needs are respected and valued. If someone genuinely cares about you, they will want you to thrive and feel joy in your own life without making you feel guilty for it. They will understand that your happiness doesn't take away from theirs. In fact, it enhances the dynamic between you both. At the end of the day, your happiness is your responsibility, and you are the only one who can truly protect it. When you allow others to dictate your emotional state, when you allow them to make you feel like you need to compromise your happiness to keep the peace, you are giving away your power. You are allowing someone else to control your joy. This is not the life you were meant to live. You deserve to embrace your happiness fully, to live in alignment with what brings you joy, and to surround yourself with people who uplift and support that happiness, not diminish it. Never allow anyone to make you feel like your happiness is too much, or that it's something you need to hold back in order to keep someone else comfortable. Your joy should be celebrated, not sacrificed. If someone asks you to give up your happiness, it's time to reevaluate the relationship and ask yourself if it's truly serving your well-being. In the end, your happiness is your most valuable asset. It is the fuel that keeps you moving forward, the light that guides you through life's challenges, and the foundation upon which your peace, purpose, and fulfillment rest. You deserve to live a life where your joy is non-negotiable, where you are surrounded by people who support and encourage your growth and happiness without asking you to compromise it for their comfort. Protecting your happiness isn't selfish, it's essential for your well-being and for building healthy, authentic relationships. When you stand firm in your right to be happy, you create the space to live the life you are meant to lead. One that is true to who you are, fulfillment and joy. Never allow anyone or anything to diminish the light that shines within you. Your happiness is not just important, it is everything.